And we, of course, have honor roll with Jean Mitchell from Calabar High School. And before that, we have education news and bulletin by Anna K. Mighty. And then at 5:50, you will want to hear the I Chose Christ by Carlos Robinson. Powerful testimony there. And then, of course, we go into our main discussion with Mr. Pedro Hall, a guidance counselor, and Miss Cavell Hilton from STEM Builders Learning Hub. And the question we want to ask you this evening is, of course, what courses do you think young people should pursue to ensure that they are ready for the future job market? Because, of course, the job market has changed
Mm-hmm.
drastically. So we want to ensure that our young people are equipped and ready to do the necessary things in the world of work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right. So at this time, we're going to bring on Anna Kay, and she's going to give us the education news and bulletin.
Good evening, guys. I hope you
Good
guys are
Morning,
okay.
evening.
Anna Kay. Yeah, man. All right.
This
Take
is
it
the
away.
sure. This is the education news and bulletin for Tuesday, November 6th, here inside Campus Connection. The Chief Executive Officer of the National Parenting Support Commission, NPSC, Kesia Carr, suggests that effective parenting can help curb the issue of crime in society. Ms. Carr was speaking at the launch of the National Parents Month on Wednesday, November 1 at the ATL Automotive Group in Kingston. She expressed that once parents are empowered, given enough information, and are supported to understand the information and apply it in their practice of parenting, then they will be more effective in their practice. The NPSC will embark on several initiatives to support and celebrate parents through the month, including classes hosted by the Commission to develop their parenting abilities. National Parents Month is observed annually during November under the auspices of the NPSC under the theme Participation for Purpose. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, the CPFSA, observes November as Adoption Month and World Adoption Day on November 9 under the theme Changing the Mindset and Promoting Healthy Relationships. CPFSA's adoption coordinator, Maxine Bagaloo, says that the agency is focusing its efforts this year on destigmatizing adoption and raising awareness of the value and importance of adoption in building families and creating relationships. She shared that there are many misconceptions about adoption in Jamaica, noting that a part of the issue that needs to be resolved is many people who have undergone the adoption process, are not willing to speak about it openly. However, for 65 years, the CPFSA has been making adoption a choice for families in Jamaica and is encouraging anyone who may be interested in learning on how to participate in the adoption process to call the adoption unit at 922 1751 or visit www.childprotection.gov.jm. The Ministry of Education and Youth hosted its inaugural transforming education for national development trend town hall inside the Jamaica College Auditorium on Thursday, November 2. In the forum, the ministry outlined their plans to execute the recommendations contained in the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission JET-C report. Education Minister, the Honorable Favour Williams, in her address, noted that the Jet C gave 365 recommendations. She added that a progress report of the implementation is done quarterly, given quarterly rather, and according to the last report, 20% of the recommendations were underway. Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Dr. Kassan Troop, in her presentation said that the goal is for, quote, the trend, end quote, is to be a household conversation. She shared the ministry's plans to raise public awareness, including 7 school pop-ups, one in each region, radio and TV interviews, and running special advertisements. Finally, the government has implemented a range of policies and programs to nurture, guide, and empower youth across the island. Minister of Education and Youth, Honorable Favour Williams, while addressing the launch of the National Youth Month during a function held on Friday, November 3 at the Halfway Tree Transport Centre in Kingston, shared that the government has increased funding for education, ensuring that more young Jamaicans have access to quality schooling. The education minister noted that scholarships and grants have been made available to assist talented and deserving students, regardless of their financial standing. She added that the government is also focusing on advancing technical and vocational training, equipping young Jamaicans with the necessary skills to thrive in a rapidly evolving job market and contribute meaningfully to the economy. Youth Month is being celebrated under the theme, The Year of Youth, Trending for a Sustainable Future. And that's all the news we have for you today inside Education News and Bulletin. I'm Anna K. Mighty, signing out.
Thanks so much, Anna Kay, for giving us the news and updates for this week. We appreciate you so much. And
Absolutely.
remember guys, we're asking you to give your feedback on the question, what courses do you think young people should pursue to ensure they are ready for the future job market? You can reach out to us with your comments or your responses on our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125, or you can reach out to us on Facebook or YouTube. We're live at Love 101 FM Jamaica. All right.
Absolutely.
We are
Speaking
getting,
of YouTube and Facebook, big up Angela Moses in the
that's my
chat. And I
mom.
believe, if my memory serves me right, this is Anesta's mother. So you know that the
So
competition is serious. It's a serious challenge this week, you know.
we're,
But me
you know
see,
what?
listen, just listen. Children obey your parents in the Lord. That's what the Bible says, all right?
No, you didn't. You did not pull for
That's
that
Bible.
line.
Isn't that Bible? Isn't that Bible? That's book, all right? So I need some more supporters coming out for me in the chat. So jump on to Facebook, to YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Just let me know that
Say
you support me.
hashtag
That's
give it up,
all.
Jonathan. Hashtag give it up, Jonathan.
No. Let me know that
Ah,
you support me. Drop a comment, man. Send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. Everybody should be like Angela. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's continue in the show. All right. So we have honor roll coming up. That promises to be an amazing conversation. But before that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more campus connection on the family station Love 101.
Christmas is togetherness. Flow is giving you their best. Christmas is special savings. That's just what Flow is bringing. Christmas is the joy of giving. Flow has just what you've been wishing. Flow, it's a celebration. Free phone and earbuds for you. Catch Get a free Samsung phone and earbuds when you sign up for Flow Yard and Road for only $4,999 plus GCT.
Flow makes Christmas bright and blue because it's all inspired by
Visit the Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
When you say Fosrich, you say electrical, SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Manival, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Do you have a heart condition? Your care should be in the hands of our experienced cardiovascular team at Partners Interventional Center of Jamaica. We're one of the leading heart centers for angiogram, stenting, pacemakers, EP studies, and ablation therapy. PICJ has the expertise and latest technology to treat all your heart needs. Call 876-995-7425 or email info@pic-jm.com for appointments. PICJ, your partners for life.
Get ready for a worship-filled time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Wednesday, November 8th. Grab your cup of coffee and we'll start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick-Me-Up Devotional. Then at 7 a.m., we bring you the Morning Watch with intriguing and thought-provoking discussions. 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss part 2 of throat cancer. And then at 9:30 is Something More, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us, man, this Inspiration Wednesday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station, Love 101. Celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
So come get inspired. Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are stuck up in a price. We see yeah. I want to go on campus. Young people are going on campus.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection here on the family station Love 101. If you're just joining us, we are celebrating Youth Month, Parent Month, and Adoption Month in the month of November. And so we're focusing heavily on young people. Even though we're a youth-based show, but we're giving our young people a greater push this month. The fact of the matter is that okay, we're not exactly giving away work, but we are talking about youth and careers. So you can learn how to get a work, how to maintain your work, stuff like that, right? So you should go ahead right now and share the information with your friends, your family members. Let them know that important information is being given to those who are listening, whether it is via the radio, the website, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube. Speaking of watching and listening, we are going straight now to I Chose Christ, You Should Too, a powerful, powerful testimonial feature that we have here on the program. And this week we have a powerful and amazing testimony by Carlos Robinson. And so we're going to listen and be blessed.
Hi, my name is Carlos Robinson. I am a first year nursing student. Now, the transformation, God has changed my life in so many different ways. If I should talk the whole day, it would take more than a day to explain. But in a small detail, how God has transformed my life from the lifestyle I was living. At first, I thought that I couldn't I couldn't get baptized because I was so tied to the worldly living. I know that I love music. I love music. I love singing. That's how I got into church. So I was like, oh, Father God, how am I going to let go of these things? But at the end of the day, I love God and I've seen God work for me in multiple ways. But some persons get baptized by choice, some persons get baptized because of how they're feeling, and some persons it's just their time to be baptized. But let me tell you, like this was this wasn't the work of me alone. I was moved by the Holy Spirit himself to get baptized. And since then, there's a lot of transformation that has happened in my life, a lot of doors that have opened for me. Some doors that I didn't think that would open, and God is still is working on me, right? Again, change doesn't come overnight, but gradually, with trusting and keeping faith in God, the change is going to happen, and the change must happen. Keep God while keeping God in the midst, praying, fasting. It's very hard to fast in the beginning, but I see God change that. I sit down, and at times I would stress about things. Instead of stressing, I am now praying. At times when people come to me with a lot of things, or some the enemy send his attacks or his minions in different ways, I stand. I don't worry myself. I don't worry. I don't pay attention to it. I pray. I am more to God. I get let God work for me more. And in lastly, I would say is that is that no matter what, always I choose God. So you can choose him too. And don't forget that say yes. You can give him a chance. You give the world a chance, and you can give him a chance in your life. So I choose God, you can choose God too.
All right. Amen. Thank you so much for that testimony there from Carlos Robinson, reminding us that he chose Christ and you should too. Such a beautiful testimony. And we want to, encourage our young people. You might be in school, you might be just going through different things that you've seen God work in your life. You can testify on our program. You can reach out to us on WhatsApp. The number is 876-997-3125. And you can let us know what your testimony is, and we'll play it right here on our show, right here on Campus Connection.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going now to our discussion on youth and careers, and I'm excited about this. I am excited about this. I always learn a lot from this particular discussion, and
Same.
we have some very, very experienced persons here to talk with us. Miss Cavell Hilton from the STEM Builders Learning Hub. She's a STEM educator and education technology entrepreneur with over 12 years of experience in STEM education and training. She is the founder and CEO of STEM Builders Learning Hub. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of accomplishments here. She has received several awards and accolades, including the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative, the JMB Accelerator Award, the Development Bank of Jamaica Ignite recipient. It's a whole lot of something. We couldn't even put
Big
all of it
things.
on there. And we also have Mr. Pedro Hall, a guidance counselor. He's a pastor at the Assembly of Israel in Spanish Town. He's married with one beautiful daughter, and he is also serving in the government of Jamaica education system. So we want to welcome Mr. Pedro Hall and Miss Cavell Hilton to the program. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
You. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Hi, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you much. How are you doing today?
Good.
Awesome. We are well. We are well. We are well. And we're so excited to be able to engage you guys in this kind of conversation. One that we believe is very important, and relatively passionate in the sense that we want to help our young persons to chart out the way of success, right? That is so important with all the negatives that we hear in the news, all the different things that we hear of young people doing this and young people doing that.
True.
We want to give them the space to be able to understand that you can do the right thing and make a good life, right? But is that still true? Um, that's the question that we want to ask, because a lot of young people have been doing some reading and have recognized that there are some school persons who have not returned, some students who have not returned to school since COVID. right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that is a very, very concerning revelation that I found out recently, because a lot of them, they've turned to scamming, they've turned to illegal activities to make quick money. So, Sir Hall, as a guidance counselor, what are your thoughts on the current landscape on career in Jamaica and also education? So, are you seeing where the education system is doing enough to help our young people to, choose proper careers?
All right, so good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Well, so very good question because I think the system has not been doing a good job so far. I've been
Mm,
in for quite a while now, 1994 till now. That's
mm,
many years, huh?
almost
Yeah,
30.
about that. So,
Ah,
but
Mm,
the system is not yet equipped enough to do the job that ought to be done. I must say that off the bat. Um, why? When we look at the our school system, when we look at
mm,
the number of students in our classes, when we look at the number of students who are leaving school without maybe basic 5 CSEC, or
mm,
when we look at the number of students per class, sometimes when we hear that CSEC is out and the 10% pass of 9 and 10 and 11 subjects, and we think that we are doing a good job. But what about the 90%, or maybe the
mm,
70%, or
mm,
50% who came up with absolutely no subject? It's a telling story that
yeah.
we are not doing a good job at all. So sorry to sound very depressing,
No, you are living the
but
reality. You
yes,
see
and
this on a daily.
so the
Yeah.
reality is depressing, and we are not we are not providing that which our children really really need to progress in life. Yeah.
Kavel, what are your thoughts? Being a education technology pioneer, if you will, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I agree that we may not be doing enough, especially as it relates to our boys, because I think UA just graduated over 3,000 persons recently. So it's not that we're not producing educated citizens or persons, who are graduates, but it's also the areas that we're producing these persons in. Of course, there
Mm,
are issues also at the primary and secondary level, especially as it relates to our boys. I also looked at the fact that there were four valedictorians that UWE published recently, and only one male was on that.
mm,
Yes. So, as it relates to our boys, especially in science and technology, and STEM, as you will, where we definitely need to be making strides in order for us to be an innovative society, in order for us to be able to keep up with what is happening in the 21st century. We are definitely falling behind. And of course, we know that it doesn't start at a university where you have maybe 70, 80% females, and 20 or 30% males. It doesn't start there. It starts where this gender gap exists. It starts at the secondary level, it starts at the primary level. It's something that we have to do. We have to ensure that our students stop getting 40 something passes in science and math if we are going to actually make, a difference. And so that's where I come in. Yes.
right.
So yeah, so in my company, Science STEM Builders Learning Hub, I'm of course trying to get that interest early in
Mhm.
STEM education, in science education, for persons not to see it as difficult and too hard. You asked a very interesting question: is this still, is education still important? Are getting into these careers still a thing? Should we go and become artists and producers, or is it still a thing? But I will definitely attest to the fact that education is definitely still one of the keys to success, and definitely a way for upward mobility or social mobility. I'm definitely proof of that.
Absolutely. And we do want to get more into it because I want to ask a question concerning just the existing careers and even the emerging careers. We want to know if you believe that our youth are positioned for this, but we have some voice notes and we're going to listen to those voice notes and go to a break. And when we come back, I would love for you all to weigh in on just the responses that have come through our Vox Pop. So let's go ahead with the Vox Pop now, and then we'll jump to the break. And when we come back, we'll hear more from our guests.
Awesome.
Isn't necessarily the word I would use. For me, I believe there are opportunities for a person to explore both types of careers. Generally, the formal education system would see persons accessing the existing careers. However, now there is increased access to social media, the internet, which opens the window for emerging careers. So, due to globalization and increased internet access, persons are able to delve into these new careers that were not in existence 20 years ago. And that really allows persons to be able to gain experience and even money from these types of developments.
All right. We're going for a quick break. And when we come back, more Campus Connection. Stay with us.
Price, we I want to go on pump campus. Young people are go hard pump campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Yeah, walk one pump campus.
Did you know that the flu can lead to hospitalization and even death? Pregnant women, persons 60 years and older, babies and children, and persons with a chronic illness such as diabetes, asthma, or heart disease are at a high risk for complications from the flu. Get the flu vaccine today. Visit your nearest health center and ask to be vaccinated. The flu is no joke.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness with support from USAID and PAR.
Follow Grace Sardine, follow the better flavor. Grace Sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody sell it. Do all of them nice. Pass the back, let push it.
Grace Sardines follow the better flavor.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Another World of Worship Wednesday is coming your way inside Alive 1 to 5 November 8th. Packed with worship, fun, and information. Stick around for the brain test segment signs at 1:45. Prayer Blast will come your way at 2 o'clock. More prayer, more power. 2:15, we feature Kalante Gavin as our worship artist of the day. At 3 p.m., we bring you Hot Topic Season 1. All this and more will come your way inside Live 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This World of Worship Wednesday, November 8th, with yours truly, Sarah and the Trophy One, on the family station, Love 101. Celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price. We yeah. I want to go on pump campus. Young people are going hard pump campus. Come on, tell me what.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we just started our discussion on youth and careers. We have with us Miss Cavell Hilton and Mr. Pedro Hall. Miss Cavell Hilton is the CEO of STEM Builders Learning Hub Limited, and Mr. Pedro Hall is a guidance counselor. So before the break, I posed a question to our guests. Are our youth positioned for the existing careers and emerging careers? We spoke about just our education system and the fact that the majority of our youth are still underperforming. So now what will it take for our young people to be positioned or to be postured for success in the emerging careers and even the existing careers that are out there now? So I'm going to throw this question to Miss Hilton first, and then we'll hear from Mr. Hall.
Right. So, in terms of the position of our youth for the existing careers, and I was definitely listening to the Vox Pop, a lot of persons agree that, you know, we are getting ready, maybe not fully as yet. I take note of the fact that Jamaica just won the robotics competition. So, it's not
Mm.
all, gloom and doom out
Right.
there. There are strides being made as it relates to the skills that we're looking forward to. There are a lot of code academies, for example, that just started in Jamaica, and a lot of institutions like STEM Builders Learning Hub were offering programming and coding. A lot of teachers are
Awesome.
also learning how to utilize artificial intelligence. I saw recently where a family actually did a app competition, and I was like, "Yay, nice!" So I'm
Mm.
definitely seeing strides being made. I don't think we are all the way behind. Of
Mhm.
course, there's also room for improvement as it relates to positioning ourselves for careers. The first step is to make our kids aware of the different careers. And of course, the Ministry of Education have a career month.
Mhm.
And so many schools have career days and career weeks where they expose their students to different career opportunities. And
Mhm.
that is something that we just have to continue to promote the
Mhm.
different careers, and exposing them is not just about being doctor and lawyer. you know
Mhm.
right, there are
Right.
several other things that they can pursue. I've been to career days for primary schools all the way in Clarendon, and students have never seen a scientist. They didn't even know that was an option. So those are some
Mhm.
of the things you have to expose them to. You have to also encourage the parents. Don't just dress them up as police and soldiers and things like that. Talk about the data programmer, talk
Mhm.
about the forensic, talk about the cybersecurity analyst,
Mhm.
you know, and
Mhm.
also letting them know that these careers are very lucrative. There's a
Mhm.
lot of,
Yes.
right. And it's not just a job, it's a career. And
Mhm.
so it's definitely a way forward that they can, pursue.
I love what you said there. It's not just a job, it's a career. Can you expound? Well, let me throw it to Mr. Hall. Can you expound on the difference? Because there are some of us that have the mentality that, okay, I'm just going to school, just trying to make it through school so I can get a job.
Yeah.
Whereas there are others who seem so focused, so intentional on carving out the career of their dreams. So what's the difference between a job and a career?
Okay, so basically, a job is a post of employment.
Mhm.
So if you're employed in a particular post, then that's a job. When it comes to career, career is an occupation. So it's really it's a lifelong occupation
Mhm.
or profession that you engage in. So it's not just because you are able to hold up a job for maybe 2, 3 years
Mhm.
or 4 years, you hold a career for life,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So let's say your career. Let's talk about the education, career in education. So education is a career, a job now in the education field, maybe a math teacher,
Mhm.
right? But you are but apart from having a math position in the school, you are in teaching or in education. So education is the career, the position, or a math teacher is would be the job. So
Gotcha.
something of that sort. But the career is a life work.
Mhm.
Job, you change job, at times, but you
Mhm.
really keep your career for life.
Gotcha.
Interesting. A very interesting perspective there from Sir Hall. Um, the reality, because both myself and Anista were creatives. So we're not necessarily in the traditional space as relates to the world of work. But what courses should young people be focusing on? What subjects should they be focusing on to really be ready for the job market? We have some voice notes that we want to play along that line. So studio can go ahead.
Hi everyone. I believe courses that would help prepare young people for the job market are those that focus on certain transferable skills such as communication, global and civic engagement, critical reasoning, and problem solving, and of course, just general creativity. Courses that force you to think outside the box. And so widely, courses in schools such as the business school, some math courses or a math course, science course, public speaking course, some type of art or humanities course at some point during your college career could be helpful. Hi everyone. I believe courses that would help prepare young people for the job market are those that focus on certain
All right.
transferable skills such as
All
communication.
right. So it seems as if the voice note is but we get the essence of it, and I was listening to the voice note a while ago, and I think we got some solid points coming out of that vox pop. Miss Hilton, based on that, what are your thoughts? So what kind of courses, subjects, to a parent who may be listening and want to know how to guide their child, what would you encourage them to do?
I feel like Miss Hilton will already have a bias, you know, STEM
Yes, I was just
STEM
about
Come on,
to
build us.
let's give her a chance. Give her a
right.
chance.
Yes, but I will add also that life skills are important. I was just having this
Mm-hmm.
conversation with a young person, and we were talking about the initiative that was recently launched by the Wolmer's Old Boys Association that was preparing the young men for life with getting their
Mm.
TRA and getting their driver's license.
Nice.
So I would say life courses are also important. Yes, I'm biased towards the science and the technology and the engineering courses and robotics that I definitely feel like are important. Coding as well for them to be exposed to it, and artificial intelligence. I was recently exposed to a new area where someone said they are, when it comes to AI, they are a designer, prompt person,
Prompt
Mm.
prompt
engineer.
engineer,
Prompt engineer,
right?
yeah.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
big deal now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So they were like, they study now how to ask AI the question. So we see new jobs emerging every day,
Hmm.
and definitely life skills are something that we need to impart on our kids and young people. I wish when I was going to school, there was someone telling me, how to get a TR and an NIS or a driver's license, or even how to do
Yeah.
taxes, or
Hmm.
how to do budgeting, how to
Hmm.
plan and manage my money. So we're pushing these kids from high school straight into university with little or no life skills.
Hmm.
And so that is
Mm-hmm.
something that I would encourage parents to maybe get their kids involved in early. A course that teach
Okay.
them how to adult, basically.
All right.
So they don't get
Let's
those
bring in.
credit cards and max them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So those things, right, right. So
Thank you
definitely,
so
of
much.
course, yes.
Yes, awesome, awesome, and solid points there. Especially along the line of the life skills, because those are some of the things that I wish that I knew from primary school, high school. But Sir Hall, you being in the system now as a guidance counselor, what are your thoughts? What are some of the things that you really think that students should be focusing on whilst they're at school?
All right. So, in addition to the life skills, I think moral skills need to be
Mm,
looked at also. I think many of our students, leaving schools wanting a work and to get some money to pay some
mm,
bills or to go and flirt or do, but they don't know how is it to hold jobs. I think one of the
mm.
problems we are having in Jamaica is that our young people are not able to hold their jobs. right? So when it comes to ethics and all that, it's serious because they they don't understand the importance of being at work on time, respecting the rules, following the rules of the
Yeah.
company. We see same behavior at school, and so they will take that same behavior into the workplace. And many of our employers are having issues with our high school school
That's a big
leavers.
point.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's appalling, and it's a very serious issue. I would say to students, when school is your job, school is your work.
Mm-hmm.
So you come to school early or on time because you're coming to your work. You go to your classes on time because that's your work. What you do
Mm-hmm.
at school, the same behavior you portray at school, you portray that in the workplace, because you don't just jump out of that behavior when you go into the workplace. It's these behavior are learned behaviors, and they do not change overnight. The night before you start your
Yeah.
first job. So those very soft skill
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
need to be developed in our students, in our children, our young people, so that they are
Yeah.
able to hold job. I give an example. I have
All right,
I,
hold the example. We have to go to a break. We're having
okay.
some very solid points coming out of this conversation right now. But we have to run to a quick break. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Okay, where are the campus eyes? Students are strap up in a price. We I want to run on campus. Young people are Chris sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper. That are the winner. Shop on supermarket. Everybody
Great
sell it.
sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is
6:15. Well, 6:16. All right, welcome back to
Chris
Campus.
sardine, the better flavor. Chris sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper. That are the winner. Shop on supermarket. Everybody sell it. You all of them nice. Pass the park, make pushing
Great
it.
sardines, follow the better flavor.
When you say Fosrich, you say electrical. SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with Attorney at Law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dallin Toussaint. On Thursdays, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Bashco. Bashco, the store that gives you more. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
Harold, do you have a minute? I need your help with something.
what that no?
I'm filling out this form from the company's office, and there's a section about beneficial ownership, but I don't even know what that means.
Well, a beneficial owner is anybody that owns or controls a company. That could be anyone, a shareholder, director, or manager of the company. The company's office also needs to know the identity of all these people, including their occupation, nationality, date of birth, current address, and a copy of their ID.
Okay, I think I understand now.
One more thing. Remember, company's office needs this information when you're starting a company, filing annual returns, or making changes to the beneficial owners. They're also going to need you to maintain a record of these persons. For more information, visit orcjamaica.com and bohubjamaica.com.
Okay, where are the campus eyes? Students are strap up in a price. I want to run on campus. Young people are
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we're talking about youth and careers, and we're speaking with guidance counselor Pedro Hall and Miss Hilton from STEM Builders Academy or Learning Hub. Before the break, we were about to get a powerful example from Mr. Hall. So we're going to allow him to go ahead and share that example quickly.
It's just basically, work starts at 9 a.m. and you
Mm-hmm.
reach work at 9 a.m. on the dot. And work
Mm.
work ends at 5 p.m. and you leave work. And as 5 p.m. comes, then you pack your bag and you're ready to go. Any
Mm.
employer who sees that in you, trust me, when the time comes for promotion and all that, you will not be considered. You will not be considered because and it doesn't matter how skillful you are and how bright or educated you are with all the subjects and all those things. Employers are looking for persons who have the employability skills. You know, persons are not willing to volunteer their services, not willing to spend an extra half hour on the job, after work. You're not able to follow the basic rules. You want to do as you like. That's how I
Mhm.
like it, and that's
Mhm.
how I will do it, and all that.
Mhm.
So these sort of that behavior and will not be tolerated in the in on the workplace, and
That's quite
employers are
interesting.
looking for persons who will go a little beyond the normal. You can't expect to get to be paid for every extra second that you spend in a job. You should be able to accept correction because you may do wrong things, and the employer is looking for a particular way of doing things, and if you're not doing it that way, then he or she would want to correct you, and if you're not able to take correction, then you're in for trouble.
Mhm.
All of your degree and
That's
all of
quite
your all
interesting.
of your skills that you have and all the excitement that comes on your resume, if the
Yes.
very soft employability skills are not there, then you're up for a bright surprise.
All
I would
right.
love to add though before you come in, Jonathan, the critical thinking and problem solving skills that are so important as well. And those are 21st century STEM skills. And so from very early, I try to develop these skills and improve these skills in my students from as young as age 3. They have to be problem solvers. We can't solve the problems for them. And so
Mhm.
we allow them the opportunity, from early. If you're putting in mixing up chemicals, I'll say to them, what if we do this and that, and they have to figure it out themselves, so we can start building those critical thinking and problem solving skills in
Mhm.
our students. Because the worst thing is to employ someone, an adult, and they have no critical thinking or problem solving skills, and as soon as there is some sort of pressure or problem, they run coming to you because they don't know what to do.
Mhm.
You like the coming with solutions. Right? So those skills are extremely important.
So quickly, I was listening for something. I didn't hear anyone mention it, but someone alluded to it in the comments. Someone, and I believe this was some Ken Loy Smith said self-care is also important. He also said maybe a course in financial budget and with a real life practical. We discussed the real life practical budgeting part, but what about some form of training in, let's say, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, how to handle difficult people in the workplace, that kind of a thing? Is that something that's critical as well? Just a quick question there for the guidance
Yes.
counselor.
Oh, for the guidance counselor,
Oh, both
sure.
of you, both of
Right.
you, go ahead.
Well,
Well,
I was going to
Carol,
say
Carol
definitely.
said that
Yeah,
about
right.
conflict resolution, conflict management
Mhm.
skills. Because you have to learn how to deal with problem, because
Absolutely.
life is a problem itself.
Yeah,
Life
right.
is made up of
Hmm.
problems, right? And so you have to know how to deal with. How do I deal with problems on the job, in the workplace? So So young people need to learn how to deal with issues.
Absolutely.
I
Miss Hilton?
Right. I was going to say many workplaces tend to focus on that as well when it comes to training, because I have done emotional intelligence training,
Mm-hmm.
conflict resolution training, all of those that you mentioned. Those are certificates that I hold as well in courses that I've pursued. So definitely a lot of workplaces will see those areas as, areas to develop. And of course, if you have it on your resume already, even more power to you. So yes,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. So let's jump to two more Vox Pops, and then we'll have some more from our guests after.
Okay, in my opinion, it really just depends on what the goal of the individual is. Because you have some people that just want to live comfortably, you have some people that are willing to sacrifice certain things once they are doing what they're passionate about and doing what they love. You have some people who have very high financial goals, and very high standards for certain things. So, yeah, for me, it really just depends on what you're trying to get out of the career path that you choose to take.
I believe it makes sense to go after traditional jobs because it guarantees safety and security within your life. Also, I believe in career versatility as being able to do multiple stuff expands your expands your ability to generate more income. We are in a very technological era, a very creative era, and I believe that not traditional jobs are safe and good, but we should expand our skills and fields to accommodate the the diversity of this world, the new generation of this world.
Yes, school is needed for gifted students because talents are a guide and they're bound to meet an obstacle. They're bound to only go so far because it's limited. They only have a direction. They have a guaranteed direction, a given direction from the start. What school does is opens up that view. It gives them multiple perspectives because there are other students just like that student with various talents, and they can seek guidance from others and gain experiences on different stuff. So that can help to guide them and give them a clear idea of what they want and how should they apply it to exceed at their gift.
I think, yes, even though you're gifted, you need some sort of education. Um, you would need to go to school to get an education, to get a job, pay your bills. Some people say, I'm a Christian and I'm gifted, so the Lord will provide. But some people blow it out of proportion. It's like faith is useless without work. Some people say they're going to an exam. Oh, the Lord is going to make me pass, and they don't study. So you still need an education if you're gifted because we don't know everything.
Good
All
points
right.
there.
Solid points. Our students there answering the questions. Does it still make sense to go after traditional careers? And is school a real need for someone who is gifted? Um, Miss Hilton, your thoughts in a sentence?
Certainly. I mean, I believe in lifelong learning, and I believe that many times our education system really does not cater to students who are gifted because we're so busy trying to get those who are below, working below average to catch up. And so many times the gifted students are labeled often as troublemakers or, busybody because it's like
Mm-hmm.
they get it so quickly they don't want to stay in the classroom, so you have to find different things to get them involved. So my thing is about differentiated instruction. You have to differentiate the lesson and the learning in the classroom to suit all abilities and all learning styles. So definitely we need schools in Jamaica that are catered to or targeting gifted children. And so that's what we need. Instead of just putting them in the regular education system, because sometimes they get lost there. Sometimes you find a lot of persons don't finish school and they were actually gifted. They were actually very smart, but school was not catering to their needs. And so we lose them as well, or we dumb them down. I was reading a study recently that said, how smart students were, and they actually tracked them before they start school and after, and they actually got dumber. If that's if we should use that word, right? They got less intelligent then, so to speak, with schooling. So sometimes a lot of our education system really does not cater to students who are gifted. And so that's something that we need to address with this transformation of the education system that the ministry is embarking on.
Absolutely.
All right.
And we do have to wrap this discussion, but we certainly appreciate the contribution of Mr. Pedro Hall, Miss Cavell Hilton on this topic of youth and careers. Would love to continue this discussion because it certainly was informative, but thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much. And even just what Miss Hilton shared just now was actually echoed in our comment section where a viewer mentioned, this is Angela Moses. I believe from an early age, children need more creative ways to learn, which will cause them to be more engaged in learning and set them up for choosing better professions in life. Thank you so much, Miss Hilton, Mr. Hall.
Can I just
And
quickly say before I go, just
okay,
that we have to understand that education is not only getting some subjects,
right,
right? So
Mm.
education not getting subjects. It's a lifelong thing.
right.
So you're learning very different skills. So apart from the subject,
Yes.
so a gifted person might be very fast in learning the subject, but may have a, short, maybe short in other in areas, and so the school
Hmm.
is needed for that person, same way for the
Right,
gifted person to teach
right,
other things, other skills that are needed for the workplace and for life.
right. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Hall, for adding that. And thanks again, Miss Hilton. We appreciate you just taking the time to share with us.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me. And of course, I definitely want to tell your listeners and viewers to follow us on Instagram. They can learn more if they have a gifted child or a child that need additional help. Please reach out to us. We're happy to assist. Thank you. So that's
All
10
right.
Builders JM.
Have a good
All
night.
right.
Thanks,
Take
man.
care and all the very best for the future. All right. So we have just a few extra minutes to bring in Ajeen Mitchell. He was having some technical difficulties earlier on. Okay, I saw him just now, but not seeing him again. Um, so he's actually our honor roll student for this evening. It seems as if Ajin is still having some technical difficulties, so we may have to bring him on next week. But thank you so much, listeners and viewers, for making the campus connection. Thanks to our amazing guests who took the time out to speak with us on youth
Yes.
and careers. We so appreciate you. And to our students who participated in our Vox Pop, thank you so much. Shanika Clark, thank you to Candice Garwood, Shane Williams. Thank you to Josette Miller, David Curlew, Michael Miller, and Brandon Blair. Next week, we're going to be having Youth Issues Live. So you don't want to miss that amazing show that we have for you. Special thanks to Miss Anna K. Mighty, Ajin, who had some difficulties, Carlos Robinson, Pedro Hall, and Cavell Hilton. Of course, to our Campus Connection team, Jermaine, Dr. Nadine Blair, Daniel, Shani, David Sutton, Latifa Reed. Thank you so much for all that you do behind the scenes. So that's it for this week's show. See you next week as we explore more things. Wagwan Pan Campus. I'm Jonathan Fletcher.
And I'm Anesta. We'll see you next week.
I want to go on bank campus. Young people like a hard bank campus.